Hi, everybody. We're going to talk about Social Security and the finances behind it. All right, as a transition from the 401k system, if you look what's on my page 46 or figure 4.2, it kind of puts your 401ks and everything else into context. If you look at figure 4.2 is you yourself, if you're not eligible for a pension, which most people aren't, that is defined contribution pension, or most of us don't have a defined benefit pension. We might have a defined contribution, meaning the employer defines exactly how much they put in. In the case of LVC, they match 9% if I put in 5%. In addition, you can have private savings. You could buy an investment vehicle of some kind or another, right? Okay, so far so good. So in a sense, the advantage of those systems is I can look at any given moment today and see, here's exactly how much money I have in that account. If I walk away from LVC, I take that money with me and I go. Just like I have the money in my savings account. It's just a different vehicle for that. Now, when it comes to the social system, Social Security more generally, here you have to, and how your benefits are calculated, we have to go, and I thought I had this all up. Yep. There we're going to go to page 13 and look at figure 1.3. This isn't going to tell you very much. People tend to have a really hard time understanding this. But the easiest way to say it is, unlike a private 401k or your savings account, Social Security does keep track of how much money you make. But it's not like they take X amount from your savings account and then they say, oh, okay, when you retire, you get this money back. It doesn't work like that. It's not like a private savings account in that sense. On the other hand, the more you earn, the more you get back. Or conversely, if you are a really low income person or you only worked for the absolute minimum amount, you will get more back because the benefits if you meet the minimum threshold, if you look on figure 1.3, you get 90% of that first bend point, which is $856. So almost everybody's going to get that. You're going to get that locked in. So even if you just got the absolute minimum amount, that's the low income person. Now, on the other hand, the figure doesn't really do a good job of explaining. It's technically correct, but it doesn't explain necessarily how it works. On the other hand, you can go, I think it's that your benefits are defined by a certain percentage, and this explains kind of their internal calculations, driven by your earnings in your highest 35 years of working, right? So generally speaking, if you work a lot, and if you work and you make a lot of money up to the cap, hey, you'll do well. And Social Security and other companies have a number of calculators that are a lot easier to understand, and you can go in and you can say, hey, I've been working the last 10 years, I make $70,000 a year, what do I get? And it'll tell you. And in that case, it's something like, I think like $1,500. But it gets complicated there because the question is less how much money do you have, but how much time do you give Social Security to hang on to that money, and at what age do you claim it? So in general, the best move for you from a financial perspective is to claim Social Security at 67 or even better at 70. There is a 70% gap in how much benefit you're going to get from your Social Security money if you claim it at 62, which is the minimum age you can get the old age retirement fund, or at 70, which is where it maxes out. So that's a huge, huge, huge difference, right? Now you can imagine probably from people you know that in general, a lot of people who collected at 62 are either like, they don't understand that, and that's some people, but there are a lot who are people in their 50s get pushed out of their jobs. I'm in my 50s. I understand how that works. So there's a lot of people that would like to work till they're 70. They're not going to do it. So, and I would say note to self, that may be you someday. Now, sorry, then there was one more dimension, and I'm going to try to get to this quick because I'm running out of time. Now more technically, if you look at how the Social Security system works, you are looking at pages 26, 27, and they don't give a figure of that. But that's where it gets into the whole question of Social Security gets its income from existing workers. I think that's 70% of the amount. Existing workers and taxes on their wages. And the difference between wages and salaries is, where does it come from? Does it come from an employer? So basketball players are really rich, but almost all their money comes in the form of wages. If I own the Cavaliers, almost none of my income comes in the form of wages. It comes in profits or rents or something else. IRS treats those two things differently. Now, once Social Security has money, and if it has additional money, it pays that into a trust fund. That trust fund, by law, can only buy one kind of asset, which is U.S. government debt, which is treasury bonds. So, cannot buy stocks. It doesn't have the problem that 401ks where you can buy 100 different kinds of things. So hopefully that helps. Anyway, have a good weekend.